Mailbag time here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we will react to your questions. You guys send us a part of our live show that we do on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. People use the hashtag Seahawks or they super chat, and we react to their questions in real time. So if you subscribe today, you too can be a part of our award-winning mailbag segments here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. First one comes from Adam. It is a $10 super chat. Adam, thanks for the $10 super chat. Much love to you, brother. How much will three safeties benefit our defense this year? Adam, it's a great question. Thanks for asking. A couple things. Let's start on just the numbers here, okay, of the three safeties that you are mentioning. Okay, you got Julian Love. You got Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, okay? All three of those guys on the field at the same time, in addition to your corner room, which includes Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, and Mike Jackson, you have arguably the best secondary in the NFL, okay? Then you think about injuries. More likely than not, you're probably going to have the two safeties healthy per game, okay? Between Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, and Julian Love. Two of those three you're likely to have available every game. So you'll split playing time that way just based on who's available and who's healthy, okay? And then even when they're all three out there, you play Julian Love in a role of like a hybrid of sorts, a three-high safety thing. Maybe you're looking at Jamal Adams playing a little bit of linebacker. All of it is going to greatly benefit this Seahawks team in 2023 as far as I'm concerned. Adam, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate the question there. Subscribe to the channel as we got you covered here on Seahawks Today with the latest happenings on your favorite team. To be a part of our mailbags like you're seeing right here on the channel, subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Tyson with a question using hashtag Seahawks. Defensive team MVP this season is who? I think it's Bobby Wagner. When he took off this past season and went to the Los Angeles Rams, he was still one of the best middle linebackers in the National Football League. And the Seahawks really struggled in the interior at the middle linebacker position this past year with what we saw from Cody Barton. Cody Barton was, plain and simple, not good, okay? And so now you put him there, and he's taking the green dot back, and he's going to be the signal caller and all that. I think he's still going to be that dude, and he's going to be fantastic. I'm looking for Bobby Wagner to be the face of this defense once again and to lead Seattle to a postseason run. It starts and it ends with Bobby Wagner on that side of the ball. And then with not knowing about Jordan Brooks' status, they are going to depend on Bobby Wagner a lot. Watch out for Bobby Wagner there. Witherspoon City writes, what are the chances the Seahawks bring back Shelby Harris? So Shelby Harris patiently awaiting in free agency at the time of this recording. And the Seahawks, we've heard from Pete Carroll say several times that they are not done making moves just yet, in particular on defense, on the defensive line, that they are looking for a little bit extra before the season begins. Although Shelby Harris's position is not necessarily a huge need, of course, he could be a rotational piece. He could be another body around that would help improve this group. So I think Shelby Harris is going to look where he can get more playing time. Seattle wouldn't be the team that could offer him the most playing time, but it would offer him a familiar landing spot and would be an asset for the Seahawks team as far as I'm concerned. The chances, I don't think it's a great chance, but it's a possibility that it could happen. Your chance to weigh in the comment section. Should the Seahawks sign Shelby Harris or not? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section if the Seahawks should sign Shelby Harris or not. Y for yes, N for no. Cam writes in, what is the worst trade in franchise history? Percy Harvin, Jimmy, Jamal, or question mark? Well, don't get mad at me, folks, but Jamal would be a pretty decent answer with the lack of production and considering how much the Seahawks gave up for Jamal. Percy Harvin would be up there as well. To me, it's kind of those two. But that's a sore subject, right? That you look back of the Seahawks and those mistakes that they made with those moves. I mean, let's focus on Jamal, for example. I know that some people hate to admit this, but if the Seahawks did it over again, there's no way in hell they would have brought in Jamal Adams, knowing what they know now. So that one, the more recent one, kind of stings a bit. But you look at, I think, if we were to turn this into a positive, if I did a 180 on you, doesn't the Russell Wilson trade look like one of the best trades in NFL history for a team of what they were able to do with the assets they got, how much they've improved, and they upgraded at the quarterback position, turning to their backup in Geno Smith? So while there's been some bad trades, let's not ignore the great trades the Seahawks have done as well there with most recently that Russell Wilson trade. DK Daddy writes in, could the Seahawks sign anyone else in free agency? They very well could sign more in free agency. As mentioned earlier, I don't think Pete Carroll's done just yet. I think offense is taken care of, but defense, you're looking at just little ways that you could potentially improve. I think that you are looking at, for this Seahawks team, guys to the caliber, maybe it's a Yannick Ngakoue potentially. Maybe we mentioned a Shelby Harris, something to that extent. I wouldn't rule out the interior of the offensive line if we are talking offense, though. I think the skill positions are pretty well set, but the interior of the offensive line, like a Dalton Risner or something like that, could be possible, all depending on where the confidence level is for Seattle with the guys that perform there. We have a shirt and hat combo on sale now, just in time for Father's Day. Whether you want the hat and Dad takes the shirt, or vice versa, maybe you go ahead and give Dad both, whatever. This deal is only available for a limited time. Seahawks shirt hat combo, just $23.99 while supplies last at chatsports.com/12combo. Get yours today, and you'll be glad you did. You'll be looking snazzy, representing your favorite team too. Take care of Dad for Father's Day as well. chatsports.com/12combo to get your Seahawks hat and shirt combo today. Next question comes from Gino plus DK equals fire. Fire, right? Hashtag Seahawks. How confident are you the Seahawks? Are you in the Seahawks on the interior of the offensive line? Do they need to sign a guy like Dalton Risner? So it's funny you mentioned Dalton Risner. We just talked about him a second ago. I like Dalton Risner. I think he could be a nice asset for this Seahawks team. With that said, though, the right guard spot, Phil Haynes, I have a little bit of concerns with. Evan Brown at that center spot, not ideal. I think I was reading from Pro Football Focus this week. They thought he was a downgrade from what they had previously in that position from Austin Blythe. And then you got a couple rookies that are potentially available to fill in those spots as well. So, I wouldn't be opposed to signing Dalton Risner. I think he's a fine football player. But it seems like that the Seahawks are pretty well convinced that they're okay. They're going to roll with what they have as far as that goes with the interior of the offensive line at this point. If they wanted Dalton Risner, they could have had him by now as far as that goes. Should the Seahawks sign Dalton Risner? Weigh in the comment section. Tell me what you think. S for sign, P for pass. Should Seattle make this move or not? Tell me what you think. S for sign, P for pass. If the Seahawks should sign Dalton Risner or not. $10 super chat from Adam writes in, looking at our running back lineup. How do they rank against the rest of the league? I think the Seahawks going into 2023 are going to have one of, if not the best, of running back rooms in the NFL. Kenneth Walker is a Pro Bowl caliber pack. Zach Charbonnet might be just as good, if not better, than Kenneth Walker is. And then Kenny McIntosh, who you selected in the 7th round, a very good pass catcher. He's going to be a good third down back. And don't forget about DJ Dallas. DJ Dallas has had some flashes at times as well. Nick Bellore holding things down at the fullback spot. Watch out. This running back group is going to be a problem. And what we've seen traditionally from the Seahawks when it comes to the running back position is they tend to wear out their running backs at times where the injuries stack up. And We know Pete Carroll loves to run the football and that they're a run-first football team. You have to have multiple backs. You have to have multiple weapons. Adam, this is going to be a fun group to watch for sure. Petey Carroll writes in with our final question here on today's show. What are your expectations for Bobby Wagner and his return to Seattle? I expect to see the same Bobby Wagner we've seen his entire career. I think he'll play at a high level. He'll be arguably the best player on this Seahawks defense, and you were going to see a motivated Bobby Wagner, the next chapter in his career. You're going to see him be a great leader, a great role model for the rest of that roster. Bobby Wagner is going to be fantastic. I think he's going to be great. Before we go, final question. Name a player the Seahawks should sign. We talked about a couple different free agents today. Who comes to mind that you'd like to see the Seahawks add? Let us know in the comments section. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.